Welcome back to the Kuriboh Championship Cup. This will be the video for week 4, as we are going up against Kylo, coach of the Phoenix Horuses. I'm assuming it is based off of the Phoenix Suns. That's how I made his logo for that. But anywho's, so far, not a good start to the season, 1 and 2. He also has not had that good of a start either. But hopefully, if I win this week, I am on a good track to possibly making playoffs. If I lose, it will be a struggle, and he also kind of needs to win this to even stand a chance of making a playoffs. So this will definitely be a hard-fought week. So with his draft, kind of a mess. He didn't exactly. He kind of got sniped during the draft and tried to fix it. Sort of fixed, but kind of not. Kind of relying on Joel and Lancia, Scythe, and artifacts to carry him. But he does have P.U.N.K. It's pretty good tier 1. Not as strong as it used to be since Meow Meow, I believe, is the link that got hit. He also has Magical Musketeers, Ritual Beast, P.U.N.K, which is a new archetype, and Wind Witches. He has Draw and Lockwork, like I said, Pod of Desires, Abyss Dweller, and Instant Fusion. So looking at this matchup, definitely he's going to bring P.U.N.K, most likely than not Magical Musketeers, and then either Ritual Beast or P.U.N.K. So with these matchups, as I was going into, I was thinking, does he lead P.U.N.K or does he end with P.U.N.K for game 3 or match 3? If he does end with P.U.N.K, my best matchup into P.U.N.K is actually my S-Force, because P.U.N.K need their monsters to go to the graveyard to actually pop off, and S-Force is really good against graveyard decks. So I did build an S-Force deck for that. And then for Magical Musketeers and Ritual Beasts and P.U.N.K, Magical Musketeers kind of rely on their back row. Not too threatened by them with my control deck. They are all the same type, same as P.U.N.Ks and not Ritual Beasts, P.U.N.Ks and Magical Musketeers. Both of those decks lose to Tiki Boom. And yeah, so not too worried about them. Mainly just the P.U.N.K matchup, if I can get the S-Force fish or not. But I did decide to build like Subterror, Generaider, Draco, and S-Force for these matchups. So let us get into the duels. Wrong button. For match 1, decide to lead off with my Subterror, trying to lead off strong and hope that he does not lead P.U.N.K, but as you will soon see, he does actually lead P.U.N.K. I did win Rock, Paper, Scissors and chose to go first, but I bricked really, really hard, seeing the 1 Cave Clash, 2 of my hand traps, and 2 Book of Moons, which is really unfortunate. So I will have to set 2 Book of Moons and pass, which is really, really bad into P.U.N.K, as he basically has full combo with any P.U.N.K monster in his hand, especially with his field spell. So I will Book of Moon his Lampsies, because that prevents him from linking off and just destroying me. He Cosmic Cyclones my other Book of Moon. Luckily, I do get Hidden City, but he has his own second Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of that. So at this point, I do have to normal summon Skullmeister to beat over his Lampsies. This is really bad with the Cave Clash. But yeah, especially since he got rid of Hidden City. At this point, I need to save Moonlight Chill to stop his Do's effect, to possibly stop him from getting to his fusion spell. But he can just bring back Roxy's and beat over my Skullmeister, and now I had to rely on top decking as he combos off to his second Do, and he does not get the fusion spell, but he does get pranks and eventually gets Pandemonium and basically has a bunch of resources. I top deck into Phoenix. Not really useful here because I can't use Cape Clash because I need to deal damage. And it cannot beat over 2,000 defense, so I basically had to wait and hopefully he does not kill me here, and hopefully I draw into another Subterror card. Maybe Guru, or maybe another Hidden City. He does get rid of my Cape Clash, and basically sets up enough damage to knock me out. Fortunately, one of the few times I win rock, paper, scissors and choose to go first, I break like no tomorrow. Very unfortunate, but going into game 2 of this match, I actually decide to go second. Well, wait, no, I actually go first. Sorry, I was thinking of a different match in this series, but I do decide to go first. I believe I took out Cave Clash as well as Book of Moons, deciding to use sub in different dimension ground. Really good against Prank Kids because they do need their monsters to go to graveyard to gain advantage, and I actually do have Hidden City and Guru basically making me unbeatable. He tries to pop my different dimension ground. I do finish negating his effect. He decides to swing into my Guru. I do not activate Guru's effect because then he would hit me with Millennium Eye Restrict. Maybe he thought I did not know how Millennium Eye Restrict worked, but yeah. This is basically game. Have enough attack power to just beat him down over, and he has no nothing really going for him because I can just flip down his monster, and he lost with the different dimension ground right off the start. And yeah, get another Hidden City, and yeah, when I do not brick, I actually win with Subterrors. Going into game 3, really important one. Set up really strong. I actually do decide to side in Waking the Dragon because of all the Cosmic Cyclones and Mystic Typhoons. I'm hoping that I could possibly bait him out with this. He decides to go first to prevent me from setting up my lockdown. And yeah. Standard Prank Kid combos going to Mew with his Parallel Exceed, going into Tornado Dragon as well to get a pop on my back row. But luckily for me, I did side in Waking the Dragon. And yeah, he combos off with his Fellas and other Prank Kids. And yeah, just waiting for my turn now. Gain more and more resources, and it sets all the Prank Kid stuff as well. I decide to straight up go for a set a Guru because of all his back row, as well as I can't really beat over Tornado Dragon, but he will compulse me anyways. So good thing that I did not try anything funny there. And yeah, he does Tornado Dragon and Mystic Space Typhoon. He gets rid of one of my Book Moons as well as one of my Waking His Dragons, which is really nice because I can then get into Red Dragon Archfiend. But unfortunately, he does get his Battle Butler. Need to make sure that I chain the Archfiend after Battle Butler, but he had double effects because of a card in his graveyard. I don't remember which one specifically the Prank Kids did that. Yeah. Now I had to rely on another Waking the Dragon getting popped. And yeah. He does decide to pop the other one. And I do get my Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Fortunately, because of his place, if he does get off his instant fusion, he will be able... wait, no. He can already beat over my Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. There was something that I specifically waited for my Hot Red Dragon Archfiend to stop, because otherwise he would have just been over me. but I think I missed it. And yeah, that is the game, because he can just beat over me, as well as I did not have any way of controlling that match with 2 Gurus and a Nurture, with him compulsing Guru back to hand. So that is match 1 of this week. Lost 1-2. Going into match 2, I knew that he did not have his Prank Kids left, so no need to bring S-Force anymore. So I chose to bring my True Draco deck, probably my best deck this season so far, with a lot of special summoning possibilities with his Punks and Ritual Beasts. Need to lose 1 turn, as well as I was main decking it because of Prank Kids. He decided to have it later. He does pop my Metaverse, so I do not get my Fail Cell, but I should be able to stop him from doing much with lose 1 turn, and all my other back row. Soldiering, kind of useless. Was mainly run in the main deck for his Prank Kids, as well as possible artifact cards, as well as Ritual Beasts, because I'm pretty sure Ritual Beasts also like being banished, as well as graveyard effects, if I remember correctly. But he does have his Magical Musketeers, which is fine, because Magical Musketeers mainly rely on their spells and traps, and usually just have like 1 big monster, and that is easily dealt with True Dracos. Here, basically just beating him down with big boys, since he can't really do much with his weak Magical Musketeers, except with cross domination, lowering my attack and defense. Maybe I should have tried to stall, but now I can side out my Soul Drains, really useless in this matchup, as I will be going second. He decides to pass since he bricked. True Draco's really good into Magical Musketeers, going second. Because Magical Musketeers kind of need that draw power, at least in draft format, where you can't just play a bunch of extras and whatnot, whatever pots you want for the draw power. So yeah, and I knew with my draw power I could easily get a bunch of draw, as well as popping whatever cards he wants. I do activate pot or anti-spell, so he can't just play his spells right off the bat. He would wait to do it on my turn, but he still bricks, and I can basically just beat him down at this point. Setting Extrav and Card Demise, he scoops because he just basically has traps in 1 parallel Xyz. So mighty unfortunate that he bricked that one. Really good for me, kind of makes up for my bricking in the Subterror match. And this leads us to game 3 of this match too. He decides to go first, summon 1 of his Magical Musketeers. I do side in Santa Claus now, and I'm going second. And the fact that his Magical Musketeer cards can only be activated from hand when he has a Magical Musketeer monster. I do get my Dynamite, as well as True King's Return. He tries to pop it with Cosmic Cyclone, but I will be getting effects, and I will try and Phoenix Chain his Casper and gain its effect. But he will just link it off into his Magical Musketeer Max. With True King's Return and Dynamite on the field, I should be fine for the most part. Can just bring it back as a body and stall out for a while, as I can then just summon Ignis. After trying to revive Dynamite, he will bring back Starfire, and I will try and pop his 1 monster before he gets the trap effect, and I will get my Heritage. Luckily for me, he decides to return Dynamite to my hand. Could not activate its effect because it was brought back with True King's Return. It needs to be Tribute Summon, not Special Summon. And this is basically a game because I can just search traps and spells to continue my advantage. And I am not at low enough health points where being sent to 0 attack will get me killed. And yeah. Tries to pop my monster. This is fine. I do have Power Duality to search out the card that I need. I will choose a Draco Phoenix to return 3 cards and draw 1. Hopefully gain a monster, but I do not. I get lose 1 turn. And true Draco Apocalypse set. I will sack the Draco Phoenix to pop his back row, as well as reduce the amount of attack that I will take. And I will then use Apocalypse to pop my other Apocalypse to pop his monster, and set up for possibly finishing him, since he has no materials in hand and has no really plays from here. He passes after failing to top deck with Parallel C. I get my diagram on the field to be able to search for the monster to help me finish this game off, since I can just recur resources as well as get monsters to summon if he somehow gets rid of my 1 monster here. And yeah, he scoops with only Dancing Needle in hand and Parallel C, which he can't really do anything with. So that puts us both with a 2-1 victory. So neutral differential leading into match 3. He is either going to bring Ritual Beast or P.U.N.K. With this in mind, like I said, S4's not really good against those decks, so I will be bringing my Generator deck to hopefully stop his draw advantage into those decks, and yeah. So Generator, he decides to bring his P.U.N.K. Once again, losing rock, paper, scissors, but he allows me to go first. Pot of extra to get that draw power, get in my boss stage, as well as Lofter on the field to possibly extend my plays with a boss room if he tries to negate one of my effects. Turn into a storm or a draw for each of us, which is fine by me. With his P.U.N.K, he likes to add monsters to his hand, and Har is really good into that, ripping one of them from his hand. Here, he can't really do much. Cosmic Cyclone his back row, but he will activate it anyways, and gaining 3,000 life points, and summon his big boy, which will then allow him to bounce my monsters. But I will actually chain this wrong. I thought, did not realize that with World Legacy Monstrosity, the monster still had to be on the field to activate, and with me sacrificing it with Laughter, I could not get those 2 extra monsters. But anyways, this is game 2 of the match. In the first game of the match, I lost it, but I seem to have lost the replay. Basically, he did the same thing with his P.U.N.K. Amazing Dragon, where he got rid of my entire board, and I did not have any way to play after that, and he just swung and beat me down. As well as he had like a bunch of removal for my boss stage. Once again, I have the monstrosity getting the extra monster on the field. He can't really do anything with just Foxy Toon, especially with Nidhogg negating 1 special summon. I can just negate the summon of his fusion or synchro monster, and that would be game. Knowing that, he surrenders, going into game 3 of this match. Really important. Whoever wins this wins the week. And yeah. Planning to go second, I sided my Santa Claus, and of course I get 2 of them in my open hand. I am running more Cosmic Cyclones because of last week, where I lost to a single control trap. It's not revealing light, but it's like something light where it prevents setting. But yeah. Use extra to get the draw power. He tries to restrict me from tributing. Luckily, I do have my Cosmic Cyclone, so I will get rid of it and set my boss stage, but he will get rid of it with his Nashari surprise. Here I try to tribute my Lone Fire to get into Mardell to get another boss stage. But he will negate that, and then I will just sacrifice it for tribute his monster for Santa Claus. He has 3 set back. Here I will pot of extra of trying to draw into something like a boss stage, but he does have another Mask of Restrict. I am just going straight up for Lone Fire Blossom here instead of Laughter, and not using Boss Quest to get my boss stage, because I am worried that he might have a Cosmic Cyclone or Mystic Space Typhoon in his back row. But as you can see here, he does not, and that is going to cost me the game later, sort of, as he will just start beating me down, as I will try and I do draw a Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of the Mask of Restrict, and then I will try to Lone Fire Blossom again, but he does have the Forbidden Chalice. Probably should have Boss Quest at that point to get my boss stage, as he will now just be able to basically be over me with just a boss room set as my back row. Yeah. I don't think the Lone Fire plays cost me the game. I think when it failed on this last turn and I didn't boss quest to get my boss stage is where what cost me the game, as he will then just Zoroboros me and beat me down. And yeah, that means I lost this week and I am now 1-3. Really unfortunate with such a strong draft that I made. I am failing it, and hopefully I can pick up the pieces and move forward, as I basically had to win out the remainder of my games to make it to playoffs, if based off of previous seasons where the cutoff is for win-loss records. So hopefully I will be able to do that, as next week I go up against Xandrix, coach of the Backley Botany Connection. Don't know the reference of that, but I will catch you for that. Bye-bye!